but true. There's only one thing you can do. Find out what's going on. Because as you're about to discover, knowledge is power. In the age of information, those who control information hold the power. To know somebody's secrets is to control them. Thanks to our modern lifestyle and a little technological know-how, it's easy to discover those secrets. Go to the right stores and you can pick up the kind of stuff for which James Bond was licensed to kill. But sophisticated science can dig even deeper into someone's personal habits. Even computers can't keep their secrets safe from the master spy. But why access someone's database when science shows it may be possible to gain entry to their minds? There are people who believe it could be done to whole populations, and others who believe it already is. Their methods may be changing, but spies are still in business, and the spies are us. The first place any self-respecting spy looks is right here, the garbage bin. It might be unsophisticated, but it is legal and very effective. Next step, electronic surveillance. And this shop in London is as sophisticated as you can get. Private customers, government agencies, even the military buy their bugs and spy cameras from here. There's a transmitter for every occasion.
We have a fully functional calculator which will hear all conversation within a microphone range of approximately 7 meters. This is a mains-powered room transmitter containing a highly sensitive microphone, and that would permanently transmit all sound heard within a radius of approximately 7 meters. This is a fully functional pen which has a built-in radio transmitter and a microphone which will hear conversation within a range of 2 to 3 meters.
This recording briefcase is another tool for picking up business secrets. It's turned on with a simple touch. The problem with such gadgets is that you have to be on site to activate them, or be nearby to receive transmissions. But what if the target is in Seattle and the spy is on the move? London, New York, Paris. The surveillance doesn't have to stop. A phone call from any location in the world can activate this, the ultimate infinity receiver. Attached to the target's line, it will tap their phone, bug their room, and even listen to a room bug in another building. Bugging is nothing new. What is new is the increasing sophistication of the gadgetry and the powers of analysis. Courts and employers have long used blood and urine analysis to delve into people's darkest secrets. It used to be hard to take such samples without letting the subjects know. Now, spies can work with smaller samples. The target's electric razor is a perfect source. Or simply get to know their barber. The blood supply that nourishes a growing hair also deposits telltale impurities like medication or narcotics. As the hair grows at a rate of about 1 centimetre a month, it records a history of drug use like growth rings in a tree. At present, it takes a small lock of hair to test for narcotics, but the technology is getting more sensitive. It shouldn't be very long before all it takes is a few strands. The process is straightforward. The The technician places the sample in a capsule with a couple of ball bearings. And then shakes it until it's pulverised into a fine powder. Mixed with solvents, the sample releases its drugs. A machine known as a gas chromatography mass spectrometer then precisely identifies those drugs by their molecular weight. Hair analysis can uncover someone's drug habit or a medical problem their employer or insurance company doesn't know about. With the growth in biochemical surveillance, labs like this could be the spy shops of the future. But how do they keep tabs on a moving target? Easy. Master spies have had eyes in the sky for years. In the Cold War, the U-2 spy plane was America's eyes on the world below. It uncovered the secret of Cuban missile bases in the 60s. In the 90s, spy satellites provided information on Iraqi defences. But if your espionage budget is a little more down to earth, there are alternatives. In Simi Valley, a Californian company has developed a portable spy plane.
Check. Prop clear.
It's called the Pointer. The US Army uses it to sneak up on enemy forces and transmit video pictures of troops and armaments. But it's a giant compared to the next generation of spy plane. Imagine one that could fly indoors. It may look like just another radio-controlled model, but this prototype micro-air vehicle carries a minute video camera and transmitter.
You have a picture? Yeah, picture's good. Okay, getting ready to launch.
You all trimmed out?
Yeah.
Weighing in at just 42 grams and with a wingspan of 0.5 metre, this is the shape of spy planes to come. It's small enough to fly in through a command post or warehouse window and transmit images back. Even if it's destroyed, the pictures are safe.
Gotcha.
The miniaturisation of the video camera and transmitter is impressive, but the real trick is controlling such a small plane.
Oh.
For now, battery power limits their missions to a couple of minutes, and wind is still a problem. But it won't be long before these airborne snoops are capable of checking out what the neighbours are doing. But what about what they're thinking? Thanks to the computer age, it's never been easier to steal people's ideas. And it's possible to capture someone's secrets without the risk of being caught. In less than 20 years, computers have become indispensable. They guard the valuable information of schools, hospitals, homes and businesses. But if information has value, it's worth stealing. Every day, hackers break into computer networks to cause mayhem or steal data. One research group estimates hacking costs corporate America over $5 billion a year. But hackers don't have to be plugged into a computer to plunder it. Whenever information is displayed on screen, it creates weak radio signals, known as Van Eck radiation. Some of those signals come directly from the screen, some from unshielded cables acting like aerials. Using a technique called tempest monitoring, those signals can be intercepted and reproduced, a process not much more complicated than tuning into television. It's believed that in 1994, the FBI used this technique to catch Aldrich Ames, the CIA officer who betrayed at least 9 US agents in the Soviet Union. Fortunately, there is a defence against tempest snooping. It's the beamer tent, a tent with a difference. A special metal fabric creates a shield that prevents any stray emissions from escaping. Even the power supply is isolated to prevent it acting as an antenna. The portability of the beamer system makes it the ideal shield for businessmen on the move. It can guard against the most determined of snoop attacks. Exposed to the outside world, the signals given off by the screen come through loud and clear. Once the tent is sealed, it's all over. However, computer spies have many other tricks up their sleeve, such as turning someone's computer into a double agent. Imagine a piece of software that works perfectly for the target, but as soon as their back is turned, it sends its data via the phone, internet or radio transmitter back to the spy. You don't have to imagine. The US government has already done it. In the 1980s, intelligence agents stole and altered a program called Promise, originally designed to track offenders through the justice system. The modified program was then sold to foreign countries and was widely used to organise sensitive information. What those governments didn't know was that the program was sending that information back to Washington. In fact, the computer could be the all-round spy tool. It's already possible to tap into a growing number of spy cameras linked to the internet.
Okay, there we go. That's
Video conferencing cameras can snoop into offices and homes. Personal computers can even recognise speech.
The next meeting is going to take place in our London location, period. Please bring the material I requested, period, paragraph.
Combine their eyes and ears with the right software and network links, and one day, computer spying could be an everyday occurrence.
Okay.
For the US and its allies, that day is here. A global computer spy net exists. Finding useful information among the mass of electronic communications is like looking for an intelligence needle in a communications haystack. But nothing is impossible for the master spy. Near Blenheim, New Zealand, something is listening to the world, and it's been exposed by the author of this book.
phone calls, faxes, emails by computer, telexes, all the ways that people communicate today, that's what the system's designed to catch. It gets it all.
Not far from Blenheim is Waihopai, one of the secret stations of the Echelon spy system. Echelon is a network of computers in listening posts around the world. Those listening posts eavesdrop on the global communications satellites that carry our written and spoken words. Other stations listen to radio or tap into cables. The United States and its allies gain economic, military and political information by listening for communications that contain specified keywords, names or addresses.
Out of all the millions of communications that they capture every day in the system, it's computers that do the work. Computers literally read every single message that is coming into these stations at the second that it comes in, and anyone which has got a word or a name or something they're interested in is instantly sent off to the agencies. And so that's tens or hundreds of thousands a day that they pull out of that.
Before Echelon, flesh and blood spies might have taken years to analyse just one day's worth of the world's conversations. Today, computers do it in the blink of an eye, right now.
I've looked inside the New Zealand station, secretly, and there weren't people working there. you've got this spooky sense of there being rows and rows of machines which have been supplied from the United States.
Everything we do is watched. Everything we say is listened to by somebody. Spies are us. But will it always be necessary? Instead of using people's secrets to control them, why not control them directly? Mind control might just be the ultimate spy technique. Will it ever be possible to read the thoughts and feelings of another human being? Maybe even put ideas into their head to have them do our bidding. Over the years, science has shown that nothing is impossible. At Laurentian University in Ontario, Canada, a young student is about to undergo one of the strangest experiences of her life. They're hooking Denise's brain up to an electroencephalograph, or EEG machine. For 30 to 40 minutes, this will monitor her brainwaves, while these electric coils attached on either side of her head will immerse her brain in an electromagnetic field. Her brain actually completes the circuit between the two coils. The field pulsing through her brain is less powerful than one given off by a digital clock radio. But acutely controlled and focused at specific parts of the brain, it will open Denise's mind to outside suggestion by this man.
I'm going to do a switch to see if it's right or left hemisphere. Use your frontal temporal.
Dr. Michael Persinger is a professor of psychology and neuroscience. He's designing ways to put the power of mind control to good use. Dr. Persinger's research focuses on brain trauma, and he uses carefully controlled doses of electromagnetic radiation to induce relaxation and alleviate pain.
So what Sandra did was to initiate a opiate releasing pattern. That's a burst firing field that is stimulated once every 4 seconds. And that produces relaxation and a very pleasant sensation. Similarly, using the appropriate fields, we can induce fear and apprehension, but clearly that would be unethical in that setting.
Dr. Persinger's tests offer strong evidence that carefully programmed electromagnetic frequencies can tap into individual brains and influence people's emotions.
The cognitive processes of the human brain are really quite simple. And if you understand how they work, you can make entire populations think and decide the manner in which you wish.
At the height of the Cold War, both sides sought to perfect mind control or brainwashing techniques. Could electromagnetic brain therapies be used to control people by tampering with their emotions or memory? In San Francisco, California, such tools might already be in development. Cheryl Welsh maintains that the US government is testing mind control on unknowing victims.
Well, basically, I'm networking on the internet, and this is a worldwide international problem. The International Red Cross has a 1990 article which discusses the fact that many major superpowers, many industrialized countries, are researching electromagnetic technology for anti-personnel uses, and the technology is highly classified.
Cheryl believes that she and others are the victims of this mind control research.
Many of the victims that I network with describe hearing voices and microwave illness, where they have headaches, just generally sleep disturbances, sunburns even though it's at night, just microwave effects.
Microwaves and other radio frequencies are known to affect the human body, but could they be responsible for voices in people's heads? In Chicago, Illinois, a world authority on microwave hearing shows how it could work.
I'm hearing a microwave pulse like a click. Now it sounds like a chirp with a tonal quality to it.
Professor James Lynn is hearing strange sounds, But he's not crazy. Pulses of microwave energy are being generated and fired at him from behind.
Microwaves can be heard depending on the individual, depending on the hearing acuity of the individual. Individuals with a fairly normal hearing can hear microwaves at quite a low level.
The energy of the absorbed microwaves causes brain tissue to very slightly heat up and expand, causing a pressure wave to be picked up by the hearing mechanism in the inner ear. Professor Lin is far from hearing voices, but it could be possible to send coded signals to an agent this way.
Brain is an electrical organ. It is susceptible to electrical signals. Since microwave is electrical, therefore, in principle, one could embed or encode information in the microwave signal such that it could be perceived by the brain.
It may be some time before we can control someone's thoughts, but we could influence them, perhaps even send secret instructions at a distance. Instead of breaking into a secure installation, the ultimate spy could control someone on the inside and have their dirty work done for them. But why stop with individuals? If the ultimate goal of the ultimate spy is ultimate power, could whole populations be controlled? It wouldn't be the first time. Before and during World War II, leaders manipulated public opinion with a potent new info weapon: propaganda. By controlling what people believed, ministries of information on both sides convinced millions to fight for their country and to die for it. Even today, governments take pains to present information precisely to control the mood and morale of civilian populations. But they've also been seeking more direct means. Steve Bratcher used to be part of the US intelligence community.
The history of mind control hasn't been kept too well as secret. MK Ultra, which was exposed, it was front page news in the New York Times. For example, the CIA was exposed with mind control experimentation in the Allen Institute in Canada.
The CIA's MK Ultra mind control program focused on electronic means of controlling people, as well as the use of experimental drugs. Steve Bratcher believes these tools are in use today.
They would want to do that to manipulate people, to manipulate, for example, politics, behavior, getting their way, so to speak, getting people to think a certain way, act, believe. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a large populace, just a strategic location of populace to manipulate the others, to create the belief.
If mind control on a massive scale was to be used, it could make stealing secrets obsolete. Why spy on a population that's already doing your bidding? Following the spies, science and technology are coming out of the cold, out of the secret labs and into the open, making it easier to probe our lives and pry into our affairs. And the very technology that opens a window on the world outside could let the enemy in to our private world. Science continues to prove that the impossible is possible, that the human mind is fertile ground for spying. Whatever you're thinking, you're never alone when Spies Are Us.